China may just be the most interesting country in the world right now. Its history goes back further than most civilizations. Its writing system is the longest to have been continually used in the world. It's one of the world's fastest growing economies, and there are over 1.3 billion people living there. And though the Chinese respect tradition, they are perfectly willing to embrace new cultures and technologies if they think it's beneficial. As a result of its dense population and all of the money coming into its economy, Chinese youth have adopted computers and internet culture with remarkable speed. The internet the Chinese see is like a whole other world compared to what we see simply because of the language barrier, but as you might expect, there are certain things that are appealing to young people no matter where they live, such as movies, video games, and of course music. The Vocaloids have had fans in China for years, but they got their first Vocaloid, Luo Qianyi, in 2012. Qianyi has an immense following in China, and she was followed by AtH, the second Chinese Vocaloid, on July 11, 2013. Both of these Vocaloids were created via the Vocaloid China project, which involved contests to select their character designs. For some reason, Chinese was the first language for the Vocaloid franchise to have both of its first two Vocaloids as girls. Typically, the first two Vocaloids for a language are a complementary female and male pair. Both Qianyi and AtH were developed by a small Chinese company called Shanghai Haiyan in association with B-Plats, but the Vocaloid China project was officially ended in January 2014. In February, Yamaha sold control of both of these Vocaloids to a Chinese company called VA09, which is up and running now. However, Yamaha says that it is still interested in developing future Chinese Vocaloids, so if you're a fan of Chinese Vocaloids, you won't have to rely only on Vocaloid going forward. I mention that because Qianyi was originally going to have a Japanese voice bank created for her because her voice provider is fluent in both languages. However, that voice bank was cancelled in 2013 on the Chinese side. There was no mention of AtH potentially receiving a Japanese voice bank, so I assumed that her voice provider couldn't speak Japanese, but it turns out that's not the case. AtH's voice provider is known in Japan as Liu Seira, and she can speak Japanese fluently, having done voice acting and singing for Japanese parts since 2011. So AtH could have had a Japanese voice bank, but that was never in the cards. I don't know if it was a matter of politics or if it was simply business sense. The Japanese have been a bit more open to these Chinese Vocaloids than they were to CU for some reason, but they are still not popular at all in Japan. If you search for AtH on Nico Nico, for example, after 1 year she only has around 100 search results. But search for AtH on a Chinese video site like Bilibili and you'll see almost 2,000 results. Granted, that pales in comparison to the 11,000 results you'll get with Luo Qianyi. Qianyi has become incredibly popular in China, and AtH is a very distant second. This may be because AtH did not have much promotion leading up to her release because she went on sale rather suddenly, but I really don't know. Now, AtH may have a lot of catching up to do, but she's by no means unloved. Qianyi and AtH both had live performances at an event in China in July of 2013, and just a couple of months ago, AtH performed in Seoul, South Korea alongside CU. The Korean company that ran that concert also worked on some popular AtH songs, so they decided to give her an appearance as well despite her songs being in Chinese. AtH definitely has her fans amongst Vocaloid producers and listeners.
丝织成双螺旋，谁能为此去辗转复相思？呼吸声声满处处一句，繁华之刹那，残香空余枝，一枚信手探索进心中绪。啊啦咩啦咿耶，啊啦咩啦咿哟，啊啦咩啦咿呀，啊啦咩咿呀，啊啦咩啦咿耶，啊啦咩啦咿哟，啊啦咩啦咿呀，啊啦咩咿呀。
金雀钗，玉搔头是你给我的礼物。霓裳羽衣去几番轮回，为你歌舞。今晚关是你对我深深的思念。马嵬口家，愿为真爱魂夺红颜。爱恨就在一瞬间，举杯对月几次天。爱恨两茫茫，问君何时言？菊花台头一明月，谁知无爱心中盼。
我在无助的时候遇见了那个他，温暖柔和的微笑让心里萌芽。我依然清晰记得他曾说过的话，誓言混合着他身上薄荷芬芳。他曾说很喜欢我们在一起吧。他曾说会带着我去旅行到天涯。现在我终于明白，这承诺不是假，一切只不过是为试探他。疯狂的旋转，将愤恨几深埋，残酷的旋转，让无辜的人受难啊！你给他温暖，他的是混充你呐喊，只能够坚强挤压一场绝望的黑暗。
承认，从前到你的那天起，就在一直留住我的权利。其实被指责你旁人，一再所不惜，直到此刻，你亲手递给了我一封信，残留着你身上甜美嫌弃。从前梦里再也无法控制内心的心情。被放在被肆意所望做的那种手冰冷的不甘，是谁让随意之手写变这场雨，将你充满着一种无声却令人作的滋味。那个女孩轻轻闭上轻轻看你闭着你不敢去看着泪一起就此安静的前来，是谁如今玷污了我的左岸混乱的思绪之中，溢出了那绝望泪水，这全是梦，快让我醒来。蓝色忧郁的天边，昔时雨岸忽然又在脑海浮现，听风吟诵出心中的爱恋，歌是青红不